What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode number 24 of the Nati Pod. I'm your host, Ryan Townsend, alongside Matt Roberts today. Very special guest joins us today, former coach of mine, still coach at Vandalia Butler, big-time Bengals and Reds fan. Trent Dues joins us to talk about a little season review, a little off-season preview with the draft and free agency. Coach Dues, appreciate you coming on the show today.
Hey, I've just been yearning to join the Matty and Townie show. I consider this a high privilege. This is right up there, boys, of my career. Career wins. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, if it's up there, we'll get you going right now. We'll lead it off with you. So,
yes.
Give me the thoughts here, and we'll bring in myself and Matt here when you're done here. Give us your thoughts about really how the Bengals season went for you. Obviously, you know the Joe Burrow injury. You can talk about the coaches. Just what did you think of the 4-11-1 2020 NFL season for the Bengals?
Disappointing. Definitely had higher expectations. But when you got Joe Burrow, we have a glimmer of hope. There is a gleam, as Marty Schottenheimer said back in the day. We have a gleam. But we've got there's a lot of holes to fill. We're playing in the toughest division. Oh my goodness, we got a lot of holes to fill. And I'm sure we'll get to talking about that, but obviously disappointing. I think we all had high expectations. We went on the free agent run. We had smoking Joe Burrow. We were hoping Zach Taylor learned a thing or two. And, so I don't know how you can say anything else but disappointing. 4-11-1, just the Browns made the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. It's always just crushing when we haven't been in the playoffs since 2015. I know Maddie and I talked about a little bit trying to end the season streaking, build momentum. Like, I just don't understand when we're going to get over that hump and when we're going to stop having the final game of the season be week 17. Like, I'm trying to play in the playoffs. I'm trying to get that first win since 91. I want to continue that and try and build a run with Joe Burrow. It's just so disappointing. And I know Maddie and I have talked about that. Ain't that right, Maddie?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, yeah, Dudes, I 100% agree with you. Obviously, definitely disappointing. And I don't think my expectations weren't, like, super high on the whole season either, I just wanted a solid run, like a building point, like something to build off of going off in the next year. And then, obviously, the Burrow setback, that's a setback. So, but yeah, I wanted to walk away and say, all right, we got our coach and we've got our quarterback. And I didn't walk away with, we got our quarterback, but he got hurt. And I still don't know if we have our coach. So definitely disappointing. But like I said, my expectations weren't like, it wasn't like Super Bowl, No. It was just a strong performance, something to build off, and I still don't think we got that. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you like to play relevant football in December.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just keep us relevant. It's like the Reds. Get us till August. Just give us something. But
I agree.
Yeah. But painful.
No, definitely. So I know me and Maddie have talked about it, and I've heard a little bit from you, Doozy. I'll ask you here. Two things, like Maddie talked about. You wanted this season to know your quarterback, and you wanted to know your coach. We know we've got Joe Burrow. We've talked a little about Zach Taylor. So what did you think about Zach Taylor in year two? And after year two, what do you think about him moving on from his coaches, or as me and Maddie called him, his friends, and trying to build his coaching staff for year three?
I'm okay with him as offensive coordinator, and I guess I'm okay with him as head coach. I'm not okay with the defense. I can't understand the Cleveland game at home, that we lose that game. We're playing bump coverage, up. What were we up? What was this? Remember the scenario? I remember we're playing bump coverage.
Yeah,
they got like 19 seconds on the clock. Just don't let them score.
Right.
I think we were down 3. Let them kick the field goal, but just don't let anybody behind you.
Yep.
Just so many scenarios. It's 3rd and 2, and our corners are playing 10 yards off. And they run a quick – I don't understand the philosophy of his defense. I mean, if you know what, I'd rather have somebody like the Ravens where you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a tight, you're going to get blitzes, and you got to beat pressure. We just give teams. It's just too easy. It's too easy. I can't stand his philosophy. Whatever his philosophy is, like he'll mix it in, but the part about these DBs playing 10 yards off and this just at times some of the scheming is just weird. I don't even know how to explain it. I mean,
I couldn't agree with that more. I think if you took 31 other coaches, well, maybe 30, exclude the Jets when they played, they were up. They let somebody. Well, I think it was
Raiders.
Yeah, same scenario basically.
Yeah. Ruggs. Was it Ruggs? Maybe.
It was Henry.
Yeah, they let him find him. But 30 other
coaches after the game.
Yeah, he was gone.
He was, and they let him go. And the Bengals don't make moves like that. But yeah, he was anytime he was in the opposite, I think, of what 30 other coaches in the league would have been defensively in those situations that you just talked about. And that's an issue. Like I remember that Browns game. You're right. We don't let anybody behind us, and we at least go to overtime, right? If they could
easily. Oh yeah.
Field goal tie, I mean, and we let them score. Like, come on. And
I mean, of all times to play bump, like he doesn't play bump enough, and he chooses that time.
Right. I know.
And those early games, if we could have won some of those early games, like that Browns game, you know what I'm saying, the Eagles game, some of those games, the Chargers game, if frickin' Bullock, whatever happened. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could be playing relevant football, but to me, it's like a lot of it's just was the decision-making of the coaching staff. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, I just think the big thing when we talk about like the coaching staff and like the coordinators, like a lot of people said like Lou and Zach had good chemistry, and I get that you want to have chemistry in a coaching staff. Like I know Darren Simmons and Zach get along, the longtime special teams coordinator, but at the same time, like there's still inexperience in Lou being the defensive coordinator. Like wouldn't you want like, I know he wasn't a good head coach, like a Dan Quinn or Matt Patricia with the Lions, like sole defensive coordinators that is going to get the job done for you guys on Sunday. I mean, I just don't understand why Lou had to come back. I really didn't understand that when I saw the news.
Is he back I couldn't. For sure?
He's back. Sure? All coordinators are back. Couple assistant coaches are gone. I know Jamal Singleton, the running backs coach, just announced he went to Kentucky. Jim Turner's gone. The defensive line coach, Nick Eason's gone. The wide receivers coach is gone.
You know what? That's on Zach, though. If he makes that decision to keep him and it doesn't work out, then he's gone too. So clearly Zach he must have some faith in Lou because he knows that his job is on the line. He's not stupid. He's got to know that. So if he's going to put his money on Zach or on Lou, then he must know something we don't know.
Well, he better make some changes then to his philosophy is all I can say. And I understand in every job you grow. Belichick was not a good coach at the beginning. I get it. You grow. He better grow is all I got to say. He has to grow. I mean, this third and 10, the Bengals have been doing this for years. We are notorious for 3rd and 2 and we're 10 yards off. I mean, we do this so much, it just almost drives you to drink, boys.
Hey, I get it.
Almost, Matty, I said almost.
Hey, I get it. I mean, the frustration we talk about with like the decision making and all that, but the bright side I always come back to, even before the season, was that we had a solid free agency period. We had a solid free agency period, which we'll dive into right now in the offseason plan. Last year, as both of you know, we spent over $150 million in free agency. Matty, I'll start with you. I know the draft is soon, to see the number 5 overall pick, but free agency's first. What do you think are the overlying needs that we need right now? I know we got a lot of holes, but what are the big ones that we should focus on?
Well, I do want to chime in on that free agency, and I love the fact that they spent money last year. But the guys that it was a change that we've never really done that in the past. The Marvin Lewis era was always, we're going to get these compensatory picks. We're going to let guys go. We're not going to bring guys in. We're going to get picks in the draft. I think the philosophy of bringing guys in, I really enjoy. The problem is you got to get production out of those guys. And the two biggest guys we brought in got hurt. Trey Waynes played in 0 games, and Reeder played in what, 4?
5-ish.
5. So, that hurts. If you want to talk about the needs, there's a lot of needs, I would say. And Dues and I had a conversation, and I think he might have changed my mind on this. I think that the biggest need might be a middle linebacker.
Really?
Dues, I know you.
I agree with Matty.
And this is his idea. This isn't mine. He's the one that talked to me. I don't want to take credit for it. But after you said that to me, I started thinking about the defenses. And some of the best defenses that have ever played in the NFL have a linebacker that we know his name. You're talking Ray Lewis, Urlacher, those guys, those defenses that were just absolute studs. If you look at the Steelers every year, their linebackers are beasts. Then they do it as a whole. They've got a bunch of them,
Yeah.
There's nobody in the league. There's
downfall.
no Bengals fan or no fan that could name Josh Bynes and Pratt, Logan Wilson, and Gaither. Right? Are there any other fans that could name those names?
No, probably not.
I have a line that is going to just shut anybody down. That's an issue.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree 100%. Well, like I said, me and Matty that's what we were talking about the other night before the big Clemson Bucks game.
Yeah.
We were kind of not really arguing. We were having a little civilized discussion, right, Matty?
Yes, absolutely.
Very civilized. And so he stole the words right out of my mouth, Tony, if you were going to ask me that next question. I think I honestly feel like, and I know I'm the minority here, I do not feel like the offensive line is the big issue. I feel like they had a lot of O-line issues early in the season. I thought they worked it out. Burrow, dude, he gets rid of the ball quick. He's smart. Yep. And I'm not saying we do need to upgrade some, but I don't think that's priority number one. I just don't. I think linebackers and our D line, you got to be able to stop people. Like Jesus God, they just run through.
I agree. The offensive line, if you go back to the offensive line, I think it's definitely a need. I think the fact that the last 4 to 5 games, Townsy, we talked about this, that they played with some consistency where it wasn't music chairs. I think that goes a long way. You got the same 5 guys in the same 5 spots for the last 5 games. The first 11, we were mixing and matching. I don't think we had the same 5 guys play a single game. Fred Johnson played right guard, right tackle, left tackle. Hell, you bring in your guy Spain, and he's literally in the facility for 2 days, and he's asked to start at he played left guard, and then he played right tackle, and then he played right guard. So you got to give him.
Spain can play guard.
He can, and
he can play guard. I don't think he can play tackle.
But
no.
I think my point is that you got to be in the same spot every week.
Yeah.
If somebody gets hurt and then you got to move everybody, it's a headache. I think Suafilo coming back at the end of the year was big. I thought he did okay. That's another free agent, we brought in. He got hurt week 1. He doesn't play again until week 12. So
he's competent. He's competent at guard. He's competent at guard. Our tackles are, you got Jonah Williams coming back. He's got a year under his belt. He's going to be better.
Oh yeah.
You do have Fred Johnson. You got what's his name, Adeniji or whatever it is.
Hakeem Adeniji. Yep.
That's right. Sounds like 10 beers when you say his name there, Downey. Say that again.
Hakeem Adeniji.
Oh, okay. All right. I could have said it better myself. And then Bobby's is Bobby a free agent?
No, Bobby's got one. He's got one more year in the contract, but like I was telling you guys before the show, that's an easy contract to get out of. Easy contract.
get rid of him.
They can get out of that one. I mean, you can upgrade linemen. I mean, seriously, think about this, guys. What's your toughest find? What is your toughest find? What is the toughest thing to find, position-wise?
Offensive line. That's what I would say. Like
Really?
solid offensive linemen that are consistent. Like you can see guys' numbers. Like, there's the Slater, the Darashaw, the Leatherwood, Creed Humphrey, Wyatt Davis coming out of the draft that me and Maddie have talked about. Like, there's guys there. But, like, if you go with the Bengals, how many tackles did we take? I mean, Jake Fisher, we moved him to tight end, bust. Cedric Ogbuehi, bust. Like, you can see it, but, like, until you really, like, watch the film and know, like, a couple of guys here that I listed on the sheet. Joe Tooney, Dayton boy. He was from Alter, played at NC State. The Patriots tagged him this year. He's not coming back to the Patriots. That's a consistent guard, and he would be our day one play-in left guard easily. If we were able to get him, he's easily the left guard game one, week one against whoever we play.
You're going to take that over a middle linebacker. Josh Bynes.
I mean, yes, we talked about it. Josh Bynes has probably got to go too, but like I am just under the impression, and I completely get your scheme thing. We talked about the Chiefs that one night at your house. I completely get your scheme concept, but like if you know that your guys on the offensive line are consistent enough, like Jonah Williams didn't have a solid year, but he was consistent. Like he handled Chase Young, who's going to be defensive rookie of the year.
Jonah, you got to remember, this was his first year.
Right, exactly. But like the consistency with Joe Tooney, Trey Hopkins is consistent. I just think, if we get Spain back, he gets some reps. We obviously need a right tackle, but like just knowing
Fred Johnson was he was pancaking people.
The massive.
Yeah, I mean he's combo blocking, pancaking two guys on one play. I mean, I'm telling you, I know everybody. I know Tony and Mo think it's the biggest need, and everybody else. I just disagree. I don't think it's our biggest need. The game that Joe got hurt right before the half, he was not sacked before that during that game. And
right.
If my memory's right, I don't think he was sacked the game or two for like two consecutive games before it. Like they were coming together. And Joe's smart enough to know, like, he gets rid of the ball fast. You know what I'm saying? He's so smart with reads that, you guys know, what was the test called where he scored the highest on?
Wonderlic.
No, it wasn't the Wonderlic. It was the other one. He scored the highest.
I don't know the name. Yeah, but he did score the highest. Yeah.
All players, not just football players, all athletes. Joe Burrow scored the highest, and it was mainly about processing basically what's going on in an athletic situation.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, so to me, and I get it, he got pushed back in. To me, that was a freak play. It was a freak play. A freak play, dude, it happened to Brady in his career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Freak plays, I don't know. I think we got to stop people.
Maddie, any stipulations?
I don't mind what you're saying about bringing in Tooney, and that's fine with me. I like Fred Johnson. I actually like Fred Johnson better than Jonah Williams. I think you could leave Fred on the left side. You bring Tooney in to play left guard, and then you let Spain and Philo battle it out for right guard, and Jonah plays right tackle. And then obviously it hurts that Trey Hopkins got hurt, but he's your center. And that's not bad. I don't think that's bad. I agree with what Dues said about Fred Johnson, dude. That dude's freaking huge, and I think he can play.
He hasn't. He has not played a lot. Like what did he play? His senior year in high school? He only played he was in the band.
Yeah, it was like his senior year. He started his first year of football, and then he went to Florida.
Because of his size, like he does not have a lot of football experience. I feel like his learning curve is on the upward. I just do it.
And that allows you to now you can take that 5th pick and you could draft Micah Parsons from Penn State, who's, the best backer in the draft.
There's the pick.
That's not a pick.
Dude, that is the pick. That's the pick, boys.
Micah Parsons at 5. Okay, we'll get into it right now. We'll talk about the draft. This will be the last segment. We'll get into the draft. I got an agreement right here. We talked about Chase, Sewell, Pitts, Devontae Smith, who just won the Heisman. I have a mutual agreement right here that Micah Parsons is the pick at 5. Whoever wants to go first, tell me why that is, because I have not seen that name in a mock draft. I know he's top 10 for sure, but I just haven't seen that name pop up with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Have you watched any film, Townie? Have you done your homework, Townie?
I've been doing my homework. I know who Micah Parsons is. Micah Parsons is an animal. He was an animal
What
at
is
Penn
he?
State.
Maddie, what is he, 6'4", 6'5"?
Dude, he's exactly what we need in the middle. He's a guy that's going
a brick.
Yeah, he's going to clog holes up the middle, and he's going to go sideline to sideline and make plays.
Dude,
that's what we need. It would open up. Our D tackles are not – they're not good enough to – our D tackles aren't good enough to – our linebackers aren't good enough either, but our D tackles just didn't make enough plays where they're not taking up enough guys. They were young. I think they did an okay job. Like Covington did okay.
Yep.
Reader's going to change that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And what about what was his name? Tupu, or the guy that opted out?
Josh Tupou? Yeah. They said he was on the upswing too.
Yes. I felt like he was – that hurt us when he opted out.
Oh, absolutely.
And then Glasgow got hurt.
He failed his physical. He just wasn't the same after he failed the physical. So he had to bounce too.
But I'm just saying.
I like Mike Daniels. I would bring if you got Daniels, Reader, and Tupou back, or how do you say his name, Tony?
Yeah, it's Tupou. Josh Tupou.
That's not bad. Hey, you throw my boy Marcus Hutton there, you might have
Marcus. Bring Marcus there in passing situations. Just tell Marcus to get his hands up.
Hands up, baby. Hands up.
Yeah.
But
where's he from?
That's a linebacker. You get a linebacker, and it's just gonna solve a lot of issues. It really is. It's gonna. I don't know. We're missing tackles like crazy. Bynes misses tackles all the time.
All the time.
But they do have to. Their DB, they got to address their DBs too. I mean, to me, I just think their defense is where all the holes are. The majority of the holes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize Mackenzie Alexander was only signed for 1 year.
Yeah, it was like a prove it deal. Like, if you can play, let's see what you can do in a year. They weren't going to take the risk like Trey Wayne's, like a proven outside guy. Like, it was just a 1 year, like, let's get you for cheap and see what you can do. So I'm hoping –
you saw the last game when there was no Mackenzie Alexander and
no William Jackson. Oh, we need those guys. Like, we have to sign those two guys back 100%.
I mean, we made Lamar Jackson look like a good passer.
We did.
That's not good.
I didn't really think we needed William Jackson back until he was gone.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's bad. It was because I wouldn't bank on what's his name, Townie? Was it Phillips?
Yeah, Darius Phillips.
He's not bad, but he gets hurt a lot. Like
he's not a starter. You got to have Wayne's, Jackson. You got to have Alexander. You need those three.
And Phillips would be a good 4. That's not a bad 4.
Phillips could be he could be your 4th. And dude, how about your boy Sims?
Yeah,
Sims on the team. That's terrible. There's got to be 2 other guys out in the world somewhere that can cover somebody better than those 2.
What is Richard Tobin looking at?
No clue. I think actually the stat came up in, I think it was the Texans game or the Ravens game, I can't remember, that when he's on the field, I think he gave up the league leading like 8 or 9 touchdowns when he's on the field. And he's been only on the field for 54% of the defensive snaps this year. Like, that's atrocious.
The funniest part is when he comes in the game and watching the other team just go right at him like play after play after play.
Every time.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like picking on the run of the litter for sure. Holy
yeah. And I think that's just how offensive coordinators are nowadays. Like, we saw it in the Texans game too. Like, we're talking about William Jackson getting Mackenzie Alexander back. Dude, once William Jackson was out of the game, his replacement Sims, whoever it
Yeah.
was out there, Brown, Davis, they're just targeting those dudes. Targeting.
All those guys. Allen, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it. I don't know. Just think about this. If you got a defense that can just be competent and get Joe the ball, like, I mean, I'm telling you, look at Joe's stats. Look at what he does for an offense. I mean, they're going to score. I'm sorry, they are going to score. I don't care what receivers you put out there, and I don't care what running backs you put out there. Honestly, I feel like Tom Brady. You know, you can mix in whoever you want out there, as long as you got the GOAT back there. You know, and obviously they got to be half decent, but he's going to find you.
He is. He's going to make them better. He's going to give them a chance to win. If they have a defense that can stop somebody, then they could go from. They can be a playoff team pretty easily, I think.
Without a doubt.
Burrow's he's going to put them in a position to win. He did it every week with the team we had this year, and we didn't have much of a defense. I mean, he only struggled twice.
Yeah.
He was a rookie with no camp, no OTAs. I mean, the guy came in fresh off the street and lit it up.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys hear him today on Callan Collard?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, fantastic interview. He was dissecting the Colts when he threw that pick. He was dissecting their entire defense.
And you know what? It'll never happen to him again because he's that smart.
No, ever.
And I have a feeling, you know, he did get to face Pittsburgh. He did face Baltimore. The dude's processing. He probably knows what he's going to do right now. You know, next year, he's the man. I mean, but we do got to keep him healthy.
Yeah. I mean, just the fact, too, when watching that interview today, that he was, like, saying exactly what they were doing, and then he watched film. He's like, dude, why did I not audible to that? Like, that was a for sure fire play. Like, he just knows. And, like, the confidence he had in coming back for week one, like telling Coward, listen, I'm coming back week one. I'm going to be completely fine. Don't worry about me. Like, that just shows the confidence.
I don't understand why people don't think he'll be back, because Carson had the same injury. And Carson's occurred in January. I mean, he's a month ahead of Carson. Carson was back. Carson was back by the opener. Which Townie, me and Matty have already talked about this. Did you see that the Bengals are going to Vegas next year?
We're going to Vegas.
I saw the Vegas, man. I also saw
going to Vegas.
I also saw we have Patrick Mahomes on the schedule.
We're going to Vegas.
Got Aaron Rodgers on the schedule. Yeesh. We got a lot of good opponents next year. I'm looking forward to 2021. We got a lot of solid opponents.
I want you to get your wife on here, and I want to hear her saying the golden words.
We're going
3 words.
Hey, she's in. Totally.
Melissa, get over here.
We're going to Vegas, man.
Going to Vegas.
Oh, that stadium's so nice. That stadium is magnificent that they play in. They call it the Death Star. Oh, such a nice built stadium. I mean, John Gruden's having the time of his life in that stadium.
I don't know if we're thinking about the stadium, Townie.
Well, hey, come on now. Like, that's what I'm walking into the stadium. I'm just like, holy Moses. This is 10 times what Paul Brown is, 100 times what Paul Brown is. I mean.
Well, there's probably I've never been to Vegas, believe it or not. Matty, you been there?
Nope, first time.
I know. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of things in Vegas that are not like Cincinnati.
Yeah, easily.
I agree.
Easily on that end. So one more thing before we wrap up here. We touched on it a little bit. We talked about the draft and the free agency. So I want to get one more thing from both of you before we head out of here. We talked a couple about, like, the Mackenzie Alexander we got to sign back. Will Jackson we got to sign back. Carl Lawson we didn't mention, but we probably got to sign him back.
Yeah.
Of that list that you guys have been seeing of the Bengals free agents, what is one name that fans probably aren't looking too heavy at right now that is one of those people that we should still send him back? Like an underrated guy that we should bring back in Bengal stripes next year. Doozy, I'll start with you. What do you think?
Marcus Hunt.
Marcus Hunt from Roberts.
Well, I put an asterisk next to the guys. I'll just give you the list of guys I think they got to bring back.
Sure.
And we've talked about several of them. Mackenzie Alexander, William Jackson. I think Brandon Allen needs to come back. You know, like I think you got to have a competent too.
Yeah,
you know?
backup quarterback.
I mean, let's say he's out a week or two. This doesn't happen a lot where a guy gets knocked out for the whole year. But guys do get dinged up a game or two.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I know Windley got us a win, but we got to upgrade from old Noodle Arm there. I'm sorry. Carl Lawson, and I think Quentin Spain.
Yeah.
Those are the guys I marked that I marked on the free agent of our guys coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. Maddie, anything different?
I think that would be a good list as well. Like I said, after seeing what happened when Jackson went out of the game, I think he's a must re-sign. Like he jumped up to the top of my list after that. They got to re-sign him.
Oh yeah.
With Carl Lawson too, we can't lose our best defensive end when our defensive end plays not very. It wasn't great, but he was the best one we had.
Right.
And he disrupts plays. We talked about that too, Towns, where he wasn't necessarily – his sack total wasn't super high, but, man, he puts pressure on the quarterback like crazy.
Why is he so inconsistent?
I don't know. That's a good question. He gets there. He doesn't finish.
That's just what scares me about him is I feel like he's so inconsistent. Like you just lose him for games.
Yeah.
Like where was he? He's gone.
Well, I think he can get overpowered a little bit when he's all about speed. His game is speed.
Yeah.
So if he gets tangled up with a guy, I know his arms are huge, but I mean we're talking about big offensive linemen here. If he gets tangled up, he's not gonna bull rush anybody.
No.
Like that's Carl Lawson's game. That's what you need on the other side. And Hubbard is good. Hubbard's okay. Hubbard's a good backup, I think.
Really?
I don't think he's a starter.
Really?
He had a sack in week 13. He didn't have another sack till week 16.
Yeah, but you know what he does? He knocks balls down. That's something Lawson can't do. Hubbard knocks. He's long.
Yeah.
I would love. Here's what I would love to know what happened. I would love to know what happened in the Carl Dunlap situation. Like, what made him not want to play hard? Because he's going to Seattle and he's not an every down guy. He's a pass rusher, just like Taylor wanted to use him. I mean, Carlos, I'm telling you, man, he was good. He was good in his day. When he got after it, he was good. I don't know. That's where I question our coaching staff. Like, man, you gotta get those guys to buy in. You gotta get them buy. You gotta get your players to buy into you.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I definitely agree. I think that's where we talk about with Lou's inexperience. And Dunlap talked about that. Like his dad talked to John.
Dunlap can be a game changer. I'm sorry.
He can absolutely. But I'm with you. When did it start for him that he wasn't playing hard? Because it was before that he was on the third string depth chart. He was not playing hard before that. Like it was before that. Like what clicked? Yeah, like what clicked in him to say we're not playing hard?
That's the $1 million question. I'd love to know. But I'm sorry. I blame that on the coaching staff. They talk about the big red machine, Sparky Anderson. Sparky Anderson did not treat everybody the same. And he'll be the first guy to tell you as a coach, you don't treat everybody. You got to earn your stripes, as Mike Brown says. You do. And I'm sorry, when you got a guy like Dunlap that's a game changer, you better keep his ass happy. Sorry about my French. Like you got to keep him happy as a coach.
Yeah,
Matty, you've coached. You got to keep your boys happy. I'm sorry. It's not a fair system across the board. There's certain guys you have to keep happy. You have to keep happy. Your livelihood depends on it. And I look at that as that was a major, major killer of our defense.
Yeah, I think something happened in that D-line room because not only Dunlap, but Geno Atkins doesn't go from being a very, very good defensive tackle to
he was hurt.
Like it was that his downturn was so quick,
Yeah, but he was hurt. He was playing, honestly. if you listen to Lapham, he's pretty right on. He's like, that dude was playing with one shoulder.
Yeah.
Like he literally sucked it up and played with one shoulder, and he was useless. Plus, it looked like he gained about 50 pounds. Gino looked big.
He did look pretty big, yeah. But I mean, that's where we get into it too. Is like when we talk about the injuries and stuff too. Like DJ Reader being hurt. Like I know we're talking about Lap. He did say that the trainers probably told Zach Taylor and staff like, "Hey, you've got to keep this guy like under a certain snap count, or else he's going to get surgery." And then a couple weeks before the season ends, he's getting surgery. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it was.
Yeah.
We lead the league in stupid injuries. Seriously, think about it. Last year, Jonah Williams gets hurt in spring practice, right?
Yeah.
Trey Waynes gets hurt benching. Isn't that what happened? Didn't
Something
he tear
like that.
Pec?
Yeah, he
pectoral
tore
muscle?
Pec. Yeah.
Maddie, remember when we used to have some pectoral muscles? But you know what I'm saying? Like, we lead the league in the stupidest injuries. It's I don't know. Who's our trainer / conditioner? Like, I think something needs revised here.
I was going to ask that same question. That makes me question our training staff. I mean, we go back to AJ the year before that, right? When he got hurt at UD on the turf.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
we lead the league in the dumbest injuries. But I believe something is wrong with our trainer conditioner. I don't know. You know, every sport has a certain regimen that you need to have that prevents injuries for your sport. You know?
Yeah.
Like, did you guys see that book I just tweeted out about a week or two ago about baseball, the movement over maxes?
Yeah, the TCU strength coach, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just totally gets into, you know, what to do to avoid injuries in baseball, just because there's a lot of rotational with your trunk, there's a lot of throwing, you know, just like stuff like he recommends front squat instead of back squat, you know, and I'm not up to date on everything it is for football, but I feel like that guy is not reading the right books.
Yeah. How about a facility? What about a facility? We're the only team, right, that doesn't practice it. We don't have an indoor facility.
Yeah, we go to the University of Cincinnati to use an indoor facility.
They wouldn't have needed it this year. They never went. I don't think they went to UC once.
No, I don't think so. I think they practiced it. They just sucked it up and practiced in the cold. From what I've seen in the press conferences and stuff.
I mean, I agree with that argument a little bit. But hey, did you guys? All right. You ain't gonna remember this, but I remember this. The '81 Super Bowl, when we go to Detroit and play, which is indoors. Guess where we practiced?
Outside.
Outdoors. Spinny field. So I do buy into some of that. They need to put their money into players.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe today's athlete's different than '81. I don't know. Probably.
4 years, yeah.
It would probably lure more free agents.
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't think Cincinnati is a very attractive destination for free agents. I mean, that's what we've built. That's what Mike Brown's built. That's the reputation.
Yeah.
I mean,
what about the Holy Grail, Maddie?
What's that?
What about the Holy Grail?
Well, the Holy Grail's nice. I enjoy the Holy Grail.
I mean, do you think that attracts some more free agents, Maddie?
Oh, yeah, tons of them. Right across the street is this very nice bar. But you got to practice outside for 2 hours before you can come in and warm up with a nice cocktail. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Christmas Day, didn't they practice outside 10 degrees?
Yeah, I think it felt like 2 degrees. It was like 10. Yeah, it was. Zach Taylor said it.
How do you come on?
It's probably a walkthrough session. They were probably just doing a walkthrough on Christmas Day. There's no way you're getting any, like you're saying, there's no way you get anything done in 10 degrees. There's just no way.
No.
Yeah, you're probably right. Today's athlete, a little bit different. They probably need.
Day, when you go out and play in that weather, it is different. Your adrenaline's rushing. Those guys don't want to be out there in 10 degrees and practice on Christmas Day.
Come here.
That was probably – they didn't get anything done.
Got to say going to Vegas.
No,
We're going to Vegas.
She's coming on.
I'm trying to get her. I'm trying to get her over here. Come here, hon.
Coming on the podcast. Come on now. Why are you not being the podcast? What we doing?
Hey, give them the 3 words.
On the podcast.
Go, hey, Maddie,
Going
listen.
to Vegas.
We're going.
Going to Vegas. You heard it, Maddie.
So, Stacy, we're going.
Hey, from what I know, these 2 guys are going to Vegas, and today they gave us a great show here on Cincinnati Sports Talk. I want to thank you both for coming on today. I had a blast. Great talk. Love to have you guys again on sometime. It was awesome. Thank you guys for coming on today.
Down to you, the man, buddy. Appreciate it. Anytime.
Yep.
All right. Hope everyone enjoyed the show today. Hope everyone enjoyed our off-season talk, our draft talk, our season
Going
review.
to Vegas.
Going to Vegas. 2021 is going to be bright. Let's hope the Bengals are in the playoffs. Let's hope Maddie and Coach Dues enjoy their Vegas trip, like I know they will. And let's get some more wins. Don't behave. Let's just get some more wins in 2021.
I'll keep my eye on Maddie. I'll take care of Maddie.
I'll take care of Dues. Don't worry.
As we end the show with, as always, Little Who Day, boys. Little Who Day.
Who Day, baby. 2021. Let's give it a go, boys. Let's give it a go. We got Smoking Joe.
Let's do it. We're going to Vegas.
Going to Vegas. Let's hope it's early in the season. We're still in it.
Who Day, boys. Who Day.